It doesn't start with your heart. It doesn't start in your brain. For many people over 70, the real warning signs about death start in your legs. That's right. Your legs might be quietly revealing serious health problems long before you feel anything in your chest or head. But most people miss the signs, or worse, think they're just normal aging. A little heaviness, some swelling, a bit of pain when walking. It all seems harmless, but these could be early warnings that your body is struggling with circulation, heart function, or even a dangerous blood clot. In this video, we're revealing 3 silent signs in your legs that could be linked to serious, even life-threatening conditions, and how to spot them early. You'll also learn what simple steps you can take to protect your mobility, your independence, and your life. These are things most doctors don't talk about until it's too late. But you deserve to know now. So don't ignore your legs. They could be telling you something important. Stay tuned to the end, because recognizing these signs might just save your life. Okay, let's get started with part 1. The silent territory where death begins. No one expects death to knock at their feet first. We're taught to watch for chest pain, for blurred vision, for slurred speech. But what if your legs have been speaking to you all along, and no one ever taught you how to listen? What if death doesn't start with a heart attack or a stroke, but in the silent, tender tissues of your ankles, your calves, your toes? Let me take you to a quiet street in Vermont. Meet Eleanor, 74, a widow, a former school teacher, a woman whose front porch was filled with the scent of roses and the sound of wind chimes. Eleanor's roses were her pride. Every morning she'd rise at 6 a.m., tie on her sun hat, and tend to them with gentle hands and quiet joy. But last spring, something began to change. She noticed her ankles swelling a bit by evening. She brushed it off. Must be from kneeling too long in the garden, she thought. Her shoes felt snugger. Her socks left deeper imprints. She swapped out her gardening boots for a looser pair. Told her daughter it was nothing. Just water weight, I suppose. Weeks passed. She felt a bit more tired in the afternoons. Her legs felt heavier, but she pushed through. That's what women like Eleanor do. They keep going. Then one Tuesday afternoon, Eleanor was carrying groceries from her car. She made it to the second step of her porch and collapsed. Her neighbor rushed over. The ambulance came. By the time her daughter arrived at the hospital, Eleanor was in the ICU. The diagnosis, a pulmonary embolism, a massive blood clot had traveled from her leg to her lungs. She almost didn't make it. The doctor pulled her daughter aside and said something that stopped her heart. The warning signs were in her legs for months. If we had caught them earlier, this could have been prevented. Let that sink in. She didn't have chest pain. She didn't feel sick, but her body was trying to talk to her through her feet, her ankles, her calves. No one taught her how to listen. This isn't a story meant to frighten you. It's a story meant to open a door, to show you that your body's not silent. It's brilliant, that the signs you dismiss as just aging may be the most urgent messages of all. Today, we're going to walk through 3 hidden warning signs that show up in your legs and what you can do to stop them before they end your life early. You've lived too long, loved too deeply, fought too hard to let a silent clot steal decades from you. Let's begin with the most common and most ignored sign of all. Part 2, the first red flag, swelling that stays. We all know the feeling. You've been sitting too long, maybe watching a movie, reading a book, playing cards with friends. You stand up and your ankles feel tight. Your socks have left deep ridges. Your feet look a little puffy. You shrug it off. Just been off my feet too long. And maybe that's true, for now. But what if the swelling is still there in the morning? What if you wake up and the puffiness hasn't gone down? What if your shoes no longer fit the way they used to, day after day? That's not just age. That's a message. Let me introduce you to Harold. He's 76, a retired bricklayer, a strong man with hands like stone, and a laugh that filled every room. After decades of hard work, Harold finally settled into a peaceful routine. He watched the news at 5, ate dinner at 6, and sat in his recliner until bedtime. One evening, he noticed his left ankle looked swollen, even after a full night's rest. He switched to wider shoes, put a pillow under his feet, but the swelling didn't go away. By week 3, both ankles were puffier. He couldn't lace his boots. Still, he didn't call the doctor. "Must be salt," he told his wife. So he skipped chips. Still, nothing changed. What Harold didn't know is that he was suffering from chronic venous insufficiency. It's a condition where the veins in your legs weaken and stop pushing blood efficiently back up to your heart. Blood pools in your lower limbs. That fluid causes swelling, yes, but it also puts pressure on your heart, lungs, and kidneys. In medical terms, swelling is called edema, and when it shows up regularly in older adults, especially first thing in the morning, it's often a silent sign of congestive heart failure. A study from Johns Hopkins University found that persistent leg swelling increases the risk of fatal cardiovascular events by 80% in seniors within just 5 years. Let that land for a moment. Swelling isn't a cosmetic issue. It's not about vanity. It's about circulation, heart strain, risk of blood clots, stroke, and most people never hear this from their doctor. They're told to elevate their feet, maybe cut salt, but they're never told, this swelling could be the first step towards something irreversible. So how do you know if it's harmless or serious? Let me give you 3 powerful practical tools. 1. The 5-second thumb test. Take your thumb. Press it firmly into the front of your ankle. Hold for 3 seconds, then release. Does the dent vanish immediately, or does it stay there, like a thumbprint in clay, for more than 5 seconds? If it lingers, that's a red flag. This is called pitting edema, and it's a common sign of heart-related fluid overload. If you see this, call your doctor immediately, not next month, not after your vacation. Now, 2, the right way to elevate. Most people think throwing their feet on a footstool is enough. It's not. Your feet need to be above your heart. That means lying down on a better couch and placing 2 to 3 pillows under your calves and ankles. Do this for 30 minutes a day, preferably after lunch. This one small habit improves venous return and can reduce swelling by 30% within a week. 3. Cut the hidden salt sources. Even if you toss the salt shaker, sodium hides in places you wouldn't believe. Canned soups, processed deli meats, flavored crackers, boxed rice or pasta mixes, antacids like baking soda-based tablets. Seniors who eliminate just these 3 items, soups, lunch meats, and antacids, can see a 40% reduction in swelling within 72 hours, according to the Cleveland Clinic. Swap them for fresh or frozen veggies, lean cuts of meat or rotisserie chicken, low-sodium broths, or homemade soup. So, I will tell you about the bottom line in here. Swelling that stays isn't a badge of aging. It's a flag, a flare, a warning. Your body is saying, help me before it's too late. Don't ignore it. Listen, act, reverse it. Because what begins as puffiness can end in a hospital bed, a breathing machine, a goodbye you never saw coming. You deserve better. And your body is still fighting. For you. Will you fight for it too? Part 3. The color and cold that warn of trouble. Have you ever looked down at your legs and felt something was off? Not pain, not swelling, but maybe the skin looked paler than usual, or slightly bluish, or patchy red. Maybe one leg felt colder than the other. Not icy, but different. Almost detached. Most people ignore this. They think, it's just the weather, just poor circulation, just aging. But here's the truth. Your skin is a messenger, and when it changes color or temperature, especially in the lower limbs, it's not just cosmetic. It's a cry for oxygen, a warning from your arteries that blood isn't getting through. Let's meet Marvin. He's 70, retired, a proud grandfather of 5. He spends his mornings doing crossword puzzles and his afternoons fixing lawnmowers in his garage. One day, while putting on socks, he noticed the top of his right foot looked pale. Not white, just off. Cool to the touch. A little colder than the other. He showed his wife. She frowned. Could be poor circulation. Should we call the doctor? But Marvin said, I'll ask at my next appointment. Weeks passed. The pale spot stayed. It spread slightly. He noticed walking took more effort, but he was tough. He didn't complain. Until one evening, while walking across the yard, his leg gave out. They rushed him to the ER. A vascular scan revealed 3 major arterial blockages in his leg. His doctor said, "You were days away from losing the limb." This condition has a name, peripheral artery disease, or PAD. It affects millions of seniors. It doesn't scream, it whispers. It doesn't start with pain, it starts with cold. And if ignored, it can progress rapidly, leading to amputation, stroke, sudden cardiac death. A study from the Journal of Vascular Medicine revealed that 76% of older adults who ignored PAD symptoms passed away within 8 years due to related complications. But here's the beautiful part. You can catch it early. You can listen when your skin changes, when your foot feels cooler, when your color shifts. I will tell you, here's how. Step 1, check your pulses. Do this right now if you can. Use your index and middle finger. Press gently on the top of your foot near where the ankle begins. Can you feel a pulse? Now press behind the inner ankle bone. Do you feel the beat? You should feel both pulses clearly, and they should be equal in strength. If one is weak or absent, call your doctor. Not next week, not when it's convenient. Immediately, this could indicate a critical blockage, and the earlier you treat it, the more of your life you can save. Step 2, do 3 daily circulation boosting exercises. These exercises are light, gentle, but powerful. They activate blood flow. They stimulate the vessels that feed your legs, your heart, and even your brain. The first, ankle circles. Sit tall, raise one leg. Rotate your ankle 30 times in each direction. Switch legs. The Sesson toe curls. Point your toes, then curl them tightly. Do this 50 times. You'll feel a light burn. That's your muscles waking up. The last, seated leg lifts. Extend your legs straight out. Hold for 3 seconds. Lower. Repeat 20 times per leg. Do these 3 times a day. It'll take you 10 minutes. That's it. A study at the University of Michigan showed this specific set of exercises increased lower limb blood flow by 35% in just 2 weeks. Step 3, eat artery healing superfoods. Your arteries are alive. They respond to what you eat. These foods literally help dissolve plaque, improve elasticity, and keep your blood flowing smoothly. Blueberries loaded with antioxidants. Salmon rich in omega-3s. Spinach boosts nitric oxide, which widens arteries. A 12-year study published in Circulation found that seniors who ate these 3 foods 4 times a week had 67% fewer arterial blockages than those who didn't. So look at your skin, touch your legs, and ask, are they trying to tell me something? Marvin learned this lesson the hard way. You don't have to. Part 4, pain that comes and goes when you walk one. This is the one most people miss. You're walking down the block. You feel a slight burning in your calf, maybe a cramp, maybe a heaviness. So you stop. The pain fades. You keep walking. A few minutes later, the pain returns. You assume, I'm just out of shape. I'm tired. I need better shoes. But this isn't muscle fatigue. It's not your shoes. It's your muscles crying for blood. And if ignored, this pain becomes the whisper that turns into a scream. Let me tell you about Evelyn. She's 71, a retired teacher. She loved walking her little dachshund, Peppy, each morning. But over time, her walks got shorter. Her calves began to cramp halfway down the block. She'd stop, rest on a bench. The pain would fade. She assumed it was because she hadn't been walking as much lately. Then one morning, while watching her granddaughter blow out birthday candles, Evelyn's vision blurred. She slumped in her chair. Stroke. The neurologist met her daughter outside the hospital room and said something Evelyn never forgot. That leg pain you ignored? That was your brain's early warning system. If we'd caught it then, we could have prevented this. The condition is called claudication. It's not arthritis. It's not aging. It's a vascular crisis, blocked arteries in your legs. And research shows that seniors who suffer from claudication have a 300% higher risk of stroke and heart attack in the next 4 years. But here's the hope. There's a protocol developed at Stanford that can help reverse the damage and grow new blood vessels. It's simple, it's natural, it's backed by science, and you can start it today. Step 1, the 7-minute stop and start walk. This isn't a power walk. This isn't a marathon. This is your lifeline. Walk until it hurts. Not unbearable pain, just when your calf starts to cramp. Stop. Rest. Wait until the pain fully fades. Walk again. Repeat the stop-start cycle for 7 minutes. A vascular study found that doing this daily can improve blood flow by 45% within 6 weeks. Why? Because your body starts building collateral circulation, new vessels that bypass the blocked ones. Your legs don't just recover, they reinvent. Step 2, eat 3 artery-cleansing foods daily. Garlic, 1 raw clove a day, pomegranate juice, 4 ounces daily walnuts, 1 small handful every morning. These foods reduce oxidative stress, lower bad cholesterol, and improve arterial flexibility. A study from the University of Maryland found that this trio reduced arterial plaque by 26% in 90 days. Step 3, toss out 1 common cooking oil. If you're using corn oil, throw it out. Now, Harvard researchers found that corn oil contains compounds that harden arteries in adults over 65, speeding up circulatory decline. Replace it with extra virgin olive oil, anti-inflammatory, heart healing. Even this one change can improve your arterial health by 30% in just a month. So let's return to the pain. If you feel it, when you walk, in your calves, your thighs, your hips, and it goes away when you stop, don't ignore it. That's your body saying, the clock is ticking, but we still have time. Evelyn's story could have ended differently. Yours still can. And the finally conclusion, are your legs trying to save your life? Take a breath. Now look down. Right now, wherever you're sitting, pause for just a second. No noise, no distractions, just you and your legs. Look at them. Touch your ankle. Wiggle your toes. Press your foot into the floor. Now ask yourself, what have they been trying to tell me? Maybe for weeks, maybe for months, maybe for years. Have they been whispering through swelling, through cold skin, through pain that disappears when you stop walking? Not enough to scream, just enough to hope that one day you'd start listening. These weren't just symptoms, they were signals. In this video, you didn't just hear medical facts, you heard truths wrapped in stories. Eleanor, the gardener who dismissed her ankle swelling until a blood clot nearly stole her breath. Marvin, who saw pale skin and cold feet, only to discover his arteries were closing. Evelyn, whose morning walks ended in pain, and whose stroke silenced her smile for months. These weren't strangers. They were mothers, grandfathers, neighbors, maybe even versions of us. And their legs spoke long before anyone else did. What you know now could save a life. You've been given something powerful, awareness, not fear, not shame, but clarity. You now know that the lower part of your body, the part you see every single day, might be the first to warn you of trouble ahead. That swelling might mean your heart is struggling. That coldness and discoloration might mean your arteries are failing. That walking pain might mean your brain is at risk of stroke. The question now isn't, do you know? The question is, what will you do with what you know? You don't have to change everything today. You are not a machine. You are not a to-do list. You are a human being who has lived through decades of love and loss, success and sadness. So no, you don't need to fix everything today. You only need to begin. One step, one change, one choice that says, I'm not done yet. Choose one thing and let that be enough for now. Let today be the day you begin again, with love. Maybe you'll elevate your legs for 30 minutes, just once today. Take the pulse test and listen, not ignore. Call your doctor and say, I noticed something and I want to check it. Eat something alive, a handful of spinach, a piece of salmon, a few blueberries. Take that 7-minute walk, even if you stop every 30 seconds. Toss the corn oil and say yes to olive oil, garlic, pomegranates. Not because you have to, but because you can. Because every single one of those things is a vote for your life, and every vote matters. But I'm too old to change. Let's pause that thought, because right now someone in their 80s is reversing their artery disease with 10-minute walks. Someone in their 70s is catching heart failure early because they pressed a thumb into their ankle and saw the dent stay. Someone who thought they were too late just called their granddaughter and made plans for her wedding 3 years from now. You are never too old to change. You are never too old to matter. And you are never too far gone for your body to heal when you give it the chance. In here, we're not just a channel. We're a circle of voices like yours who believe aging is not a decline. It's a deepening. Now I want to hear from you. In the comments below, tell us, which leg warning sign surprised you the most? What's the one thing you'll change today? Because your comment might be the light someone else needs to see. Let's subscribe to Dear Seniors Life. We don't do fear, we do truth, we do hope, we do life, with wisdom, courage, and community. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a story, a lesson, a guide, or a truth meant to help you live not just longer but better. You've made it this far for a reason. You're still here for a reason. Let's make the next chapter the one where you feel strong again, where you sleep peacefully, walk confidently, wake up knowing, I'm not finished yet. Keep walking, keep breathing, and keep living. Because your legs don't just carry your body, they carry your story. They carry your signs, they carry your future. And if you listen closely, you might hear them say what Eleanor, Marvin, and Evelyn never got to. I want to stay. We're rooting for you. With all our heart, Dear Seniors Life.